Hey ladies, I'm glad you stopped by. Let's give folks a little while to get in here. We'll just look at some BS until such time.
Here's the attention that you ordered. I'm gonna give you some homework. Not very hard. Go and look back through the comment section of this same video. Have you noticed the correlation between who keeps bringing up white men and whatever they think of black women? It's all black men. If y'all have any type of inferiority complex as it relates to white men, and you need to use us as collateral damage, y'all need to use us as pawns to push that, just say so. I will speak for myself when I say I don't care what white men think about me because I already know what society at large thinks about me. It's in my face every single day. And black men who hate themselves especially make it a point to project all their feelings of hatred they have for themselves onto me because they never learned how to emotionally regulate. Deflecting onto us doesn't make this go away. It's time to grow up.
You scratch me for no reason. I'm whipping her ass, and I'll explain it to y'all later.
What?
I would have whipped her ass.
You would whoop Penelope's ass if she scratched you?
I would have given her a spanking for sure.
My daughter? What are you talking about?
Scratch me.
You would whoop my daughter's ass if she touched you?
No, scratch me.
You would whip my daughter's ass
Why not?
if she scratched you? Why not? A little 6-year-old girl?
Oh, I'm young. I don't get like the dudes nowadays. Like they be cool with females just taking care of them and them not sitting on their ass and not doing shit. Like, how's you okay with not having shit? Like, and you a man at that. Like, how's you okay with your girl being able to take care of you or only do for you and you can't offer her shit or do shit for her? And I don't see how y'all be letting these motherfuckers just sit up under you and not offer you shit.
Thank you so much again for coming on this date with me. By the way, you never mentioned what you did for work. Why? Is there a reason I can't know? Because you seem worried about money, and I don't want no female that's after me only for my money. First things first, it's women, not females. Number 2, your Instagram bio says Forex, so I already know you don't have any money. But to further confirm that, while you were in the restroom, you left your phone flipped up, and I noticed a text message from your mother that said, "Did you get the $40 I sent you for your date?" So I think I should be more concerned about you being after my money. Also, by the look of the chicken tenders and french fries in front of you, I can tell your favorite fruit is banana flavored Laffy Taffy. And I think the only thing that you, sir, would be able to offer me is your last name, and that's probably also your mother's. Have a good night, sir.
Open the door, Amy.
Okay, I don't have to keep on.
Who's here? So how long you been messing around my wife?
What you mean?
What do you mean what I mean? No. You want me to leave? Are you in love? Okay. Well, this Facebook Live, your daughter sees that, and your wife sees that.
What you mean?
Your wife added her tonight. When I seen my wife was at a motel.
Man, you don't even know my wife. Get out of my business.
Yo, you got a fucking problem? You got a fucking problem?
Nah, I ain't got no problem. What you mean my wife see that shit?
Cause it's Facebook Live.
Nah, get me out that shit, bro. Cause you don't know who I am. Get me out that shit.
Believe that shit.
Black men treat black women worse than any other race treats their...
I wanted to address this because I've been seeing a lot of black men get on her ass, so let's go down my love life with black guys because I actually agree. I liked my first boy at the age of 12, and he told me he didn't want to get with an ugly dark-skinned girl. He was black. At the age of 14, I got my first boyfriend who then raped me multiple times and mentally abused me. He was black. As I was growing up, blooming into myself, I got sexually harassed by tons of older black men. 3 guys on 3 separate occasions had me as their side hoe, and I didn't even know they were in a relationship. They were all black men. My last boyfriend gave me several yeast infections because come to find out he was fucking with a bunch of other people. He is a black man. I was asked out on my first date at the age of 20, and I got stood up at the movie theater for 4 hours by a black man. Last year, a guy stalked me at my apartment building and tried to break into my car because I rejected him. He is a black man. All the failed talking faces I ever had were with black men. All my trauma is from black men.
Okay. I played all of that because I think some of us forgetting who the real enemy is here. This weekend has been a trip. Just, looking at who is actually trying to start fights with who in the divestment community. Me personally, I don't care where you are in your divestment, whether you just divested 5 minutes before you got here, or you've been divested for years. I want you to come over here. I want you to come say what you got to say, because all of us come from different walks of life, but we do have one common enemy. And I think I know what he looks like. Okay? I'm going to flip over to this other tab real quick. While I was preparing to come talk to y'all, this was what was in my inbox. Cali rapper Uzi Marcus' brother murders 2 women on IG Live. I will not be playing this video because it's very, very graphic. But these were 2 Beckys. Not only are they have terrorized us for centuries, now they're moving on to terrorize other folks. And as they move on, they're getting worse and worse and worse. So if he never got caught, if this munch face looking dude never got caught, and his next girlfriend was a sister, what on earth do you think would happen to that sister? These are 2 Beckys in this room that he killed on live. Live. One of them was 15 years old. Okay? So when we sit up here, I don't like everybody on YouTube. I don't agree with everybody on YouTube. That's all in the BWE sector. But what I do know is they are not my problem. They're not my problem. Our problem is who you see in front of you every single day. Okay? While I'm getting ready to tell y'all something else, let me go ahead and put this link in the chat. Because it's getting ridiculous. We shouldn't be coming after each other. We should be not going after them, but at least remembering who the enemy is. Okay? That's why I came here. Let me say this too. I love all of our allies. Every last one of them. Black, white, male, female, gay, straight, Martian. I don't care if they don't even come from this planet. If you doing right by sisters, I love you. But what's not going to happen is this. We're not going to have the same people that gave us all this drama and trauma to come and tell us how women operated spaces should operate. It's a safe space for women. Did you hear me? You're leaving Blackistan only to have the same people tell you how to be divested. Can somebody make that make sense? Let me speak to y'all in this chat because y'all on fire. Thank y'all for coming. All right. We have... I'm going back as far as I can, y'all. Hey, Bougie. I hope you bring your ass up here. Your favorite persuasion was the first person here. Queen of Sheba's here. Lady Armand is here. Sammy Dizzle. It's late, y'all. Y'all ain't never talked to me this late. So forgive me for stumbling over stuff because my old ass is tired. Cammy's here. J. Mrs. Black is here. Bridge Burner is here. K. Sloan, Healing Arts. Susie Bear, 33. Aisha B. Unapologetically Critical. Monica M. Hey, girl. Nitra J. Question and Research. She's always in the building. Water Lily. Who else we got here? Comedic Chic, or is that Comedic Chick? JG Music. Tammy F. Trish is in the building. Luke Williams, behave. Mark M. K. Sloan already said that. The Atkins Bar is in the building. Let me see. Aaron, Nikki Love. I'm into the writer. All right, it looks like I'm getting some repeats here. Cheryl M. Okay, back to what I was saying. If I missed you, that wasn't shade. I promise you. The Riddler, Mammy Slayer's in the building. I don't throw shade, y'all. If I see you say something else, I'll be on your ass. I'm not trying to make a brand. Me personally, that's a form of freedom that I have where I don't have to watch what I say, but I do understand those that have to watch what they say because they're trying to protect themselves. I understand completely, and I follow the content. I think it's pretty damn dope. But I'm not here to make a brand. I'm here to get folks away from Tyrone, period. If you leveling up, there's so many level up ladies out there. They're beautiful too. I say go over there, and after you're done over there, bring your ass back here so you can let your hair down. There's swirlers. There's all type of people out there. But when you come here, we're gonna say our shit. What you'll never see me do is fight another black woman. I'm not gonna argue with a Dusty. You got me all the way messed up on that. I'm not arguing with a Dusty. I don't care who he is. They don't get any say-so here whatsoever. I don't care if they are an ally. If your allyship is depending upon me being able to be manipulated by you, you can take your allyship, spit on it, and shove it so far up your ass that you are no longer able to talk. All right? What else you won't see here is a fair and balanced approach. I don't remember anybody being fair with us. Nobody. It's to the point where other black women aren't even fair with each other. When the Dusties came out and told everybody that you was nappy-headed, that your coochie stank, that you only worth $5, and this, that, and the third, they didn't say, but there's some good sisters out there. They said that was you, period. So, since I demand that men be in leadership, you led the charge, boy. So this is how I'm going to put it. The same exact way you put it. You said that's what we are. Well, Playboy, guess what? That's what you are. You get no exceptions, and you don't get to have the exception to the rule, because the exception to the rule is not the rule. Point blank, period. So let me go over what you won't see again. You won't see a Dusty on my panel. You won't see me trying to have what they call the conversation with a Dusty. I'm done talking. I'm done talking. I don't have anything else to say except for get out of my face, 911. Get out of my face, then call 911 if his ass don't move fast enough. There is not one single one, including an ally, that I want to talk to. Okay? So that's that. You won't see a Dusty. You won't see me letting a Dusty regulate what you do and say. You won't see me arguing with another black woman, even if she's a mammy. I'll just bounce her ass up off this platform. And you won't see me be fair and balanced. Now, with that being said, let's open up the church. The doors of the church are open. I don't think you've ever been up here, Healing Arts. What's going on, babe?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, I feel real bad because I called into a show that I've been needing to stay away from, and I had too much to drink and I was cussing out some mammies, and I just feel real out of character, and there's a lot of toxicity that's masquerading as entertainment, and it just put me in a real low vibrational position today.
Your spirits are down today?
Yeah, they were for the first part of the day because of what I did on the CS channel.
I've heard your name before and I've seen you in chat rooms. I don't know what went on over there. You know how these live streams are really, really, really long. So I'll catch 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. My ass sleep to damn near noon every day. So by the time I got up, it was already popping. It was already popping.
Yeah, I usually was going under the name of JW, but I had to change my name after all the drama with that Love M crap a few months
Uh-oh,
ago.
uh-oh. Oh, I don't know what went on with Love M. I haven't seen her in a while, so let's
Yeah, I don't know, like I don't follow her or anything like that, but I had to just, change my name and do something different after all of that.
well, whatever's good for you, that's good for you, because I don't want to see your spirits down. This is why I hate when black women argue with each other, because it'll bring my spirit down too. Because there's a dusty that needs to be checked somewhere, always. So why am I arguing with the sisters? I'm trying to show you the way up out of there. We all have a different way. I think we have a goal to all do better. And some of us do it through makeup palettes and wigs. Some of us do it through, other types of wisdom. Some of us on the level up. Some of us trying to lose weight. Some of us, we all are doing separate things, but have the same goal. So we have no business fighting. And I hate to see someone attacking someone that's trying to do better. I have a couple of ladies on here that I'm very cool with. Since I don't want them trolled, I'm not going to say their names, but why are we attacking each other? Do you know what kind of power force we could be if we all got along, with the exception of one or two? Because it won't always be everybody getting along. But if the majority of us got along, we would shut the BS down. You still there, hun?
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm just listening.
Okay.
Yeah,
Black
I've
women
just
are in
been
a state
doing
of it.
yeah, I've
Go
been
ahead,
doing
babe.
a lot of inner work, and it's like if I'm, when I'm participating and listening to certain content like that, it just brings my vibration down and I have to start all over again. Even if it was just shits and giggles while it was happening, it still makes me feel messed up because it's like, okay, I wouldn't hang out with those people in my real life, so I don't have any business like being entertained. I mean, it's impossible to be entertained because it's so damn toxic. And then, when they started talking about CK and how she's this and that and just all this negative stuff, it just made me feel like it pissed me off, because my life has changed a lot from this community. I was always a swirler, but I wasn't divested.
Healing Art,
And
let me tell you this, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If ever you come to one of my lives and you feel like I'm bringing you down, click the fuck off of here and go. Don't even let me bring you down. That's how much I love you guys. If I seem toxic or whatever, and I may be a little too much for some folk, go ahead and go somewhere else, because what you see right now, that's what you're going to get every time you come here. I'm going to have my scope on the enemy, and that's who's going to catch it. So if you ever come here and it's like, ugh, I'm so tired of hearing about that, let me go somewhere else. I will respect the hell out of you for go ahead and going somewhere else where you can feel edified. You know what I mean?
yeah, this channel is empowering for me. It doesn't bring me down. You actually you actually talk about issues that need to be addressed, and I like your delivery, and I don't ever like leave this channel feeling drained or anything like that. But some of these women, it like after the weekend, after what happened, it just started to remind me of women that I've known in the past that have done me really wrong. And I'm like, man, these women are cut from the same cloth. Like, I can't fuck with these people. Like, I got to stay away from this shit if I'm trying to improve my life and course correct. I can't even deal with them for entertainment purposes because it's so low.
I have to agree with you. It's very low. But if it's too low for you, you know how I don't disappear long. If I'm gone for more than 12 hours, that means I'm taking a fucking break because it got to be too much time. This type of work can be too much. It can be too much. But go get yourself together and come back. That's what I tell myself all the time. Kaya, thank you for the Cash App, honey bunny. You have to step away and you have to come back. There's nothing wrong with taking breaks. You're allowed to take a break. Everyone's allowed to take a break. Because we got a situation over centuries. So it's only been 10, 15 years that BWE started. So it can be fixed already. It took a lot of work to get us in this messed up situation. So it's going to take a lot of work to get us out of it. And I know one thing. What makes me feel like I'm making progress is never taking my eye off the enemy. And I know who he is. I know exactly who he is. And I'm not telling you the other races are so much better. But I tell you what, you might want to expand your options so that your chances of not crapping out is a little bit, better. All right, got two people coming up. Missy.
Oh. Hey, can y'all hear me?
You're on the stream, Miss. Yes, I can.
Okay. Listening to healing arts, I wanted to say it's kind of important that we pay attention to us and like how we feel when we interact with certain content, because there's a lot of stuff that we interact with that we probably shouldn't. And we have to learn how to turn away from that, because at the end of the day, we do have power. So if we choose to turn away from something or we choose to not support that, we do have power. And I don't think that we realize that. And then another thing I wanted to say is I love your platform, because these are a lot of the thoughts I was thinking back in high school. And, I was like, well, I'm done with these men. And people would always pressure me into, well, we really want you to bring home a black man. But I didn't see any that were for me. Yeah, exactly.
Y'all, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to platforms as just an audience member to people who I absolutely love as YouTubers and content creators. And they say something that I absolutely do not agree with. I don't say nothing because I don't want to come off like they can't have their opinion. You know what I mean? I just sit there and I'm like, okay, I'll eat the meat and spit out the bones because I'm not going to agree with anybody 100%. Sometimes I don't agree with myself 100%, goddammit. Sometimes I'm like, girl, what are you thinking? Let's not do this. Minty, you're on here.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't want to change the subject. I wanted to comment about Eve, if that's okay.
About who?
Eve.
Eve? Oh, okay. That's fine. What's
you
going
know
on?
what? Oh, shit. You didn't play Eve. I'm sorry. I thought
you listening to too many live streams at once, girl. You got me mixed up.
But Eve, she talked about her interracial relationship. If it's okay for me to talk about it, I'll talk about it. And I have something positive to say too. So
okay, that's cool.
Okay. Eve talked about how she doesn't talk about race in her relationship. And how now, she said, the man she's with, being with I think he's European or whatever, it's a different world. over there. She said this. She said they live a different world, a different life than what we do. They don't have the same worldly problems that we do over there, you know? So she said a lot more than that in her interview, but everybody was just dragging her, right? Now, I've been watching Eve since high school, you know, and Eve's always had, to me, the hip hop music she played was always about women and about a lot of things. It never was about anything derogatory that I remember, you know?
No, I don't remember that being the case either. She was always, pretty even keeled.
And you know, her top song is Love Is Blind. That was one of the deepest songs that a woman could do, next to I guess you could say UNITY with Queen Latifah, who you calling a bit in, and then you can, well, that song doesn't count. Sam doesn't count. But as far as like an emotional song coming from a woman, that was one of the best songs that was out for a woman to express it in that way in hip hop. And I'm born 1984, so that's just my perception. But the point is, I love what Eve has become, who she is.
Yeah, you know what else she doesn't do? She doesn't come out publicly fighting with anybody. Now, do you think she gets along with everybody in the industry? I would bet not.
That's what I was going to get at.
But Eve, what she doesn't do is come out here arguing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was going to get at. I was just going to get at that. Eve is so happy and so at peace in that relationship and in that world. But you can see the depression come over her face when she's around Black people. And they drug her on Twitter. And it wasn't right.
That's nothing new. They always drag her. They always drag him happy Black women.
Yeah, and I know
don't get dragged.
And this is what I'm seeing. And see, the world just wants to see Black women suffer and struggle. It is so fucking sad. You know, it's heartbreaking. Agree. I'm happy for Eve. So you want her to still be with Stevie J? You still want her to have to live with that? You still want her? You understand what I'm saying? Like, this woman has grown up. Sierra has grown up. Because Sierra's with a Black man, right? It doesn't matter. But when a Black woman,
it's not who she's with. It's because she's happy. See, there's a crusade against your happiness, and that's where we get it twisted. It really don't have nothing. If you was with a Brad, right, and he was treating you like shit, they cheer him on. It's because of your happiness that they have a problem with it.
Right. It was somebody else that I wanted to mention too. That is, I don't know if you know her. Her name is Princess Nokia. She raps or whatever. Very beautiful girl, Puerto Rican, talks about her African heritage and stuff. And now she's growing up. So now she's more in her pretty girl stage. You know what I'm saying? You know how you go through it in your mid-20s, going to your 30s, right? So this mammy was telling me, oh, she don't like this Princess Nokia. She not talking about being Taino Indian and all that stuff. I'm like, she already talked about it. She already told you. She's in her own zone. She looks beautiful. She's looking how the way she wants to. And I actually like her brand more because I saw her brand being more like what she is, like more punk rockish. You know what I'm saying? If you know who that is, she's a young girl. But I'm just saying, like, anytime a Black woman is happy, everybody hates it.
It's a problem. It's a problem. Have you ever seen a Dusty ask you, the hell you smiling at? I'm going to be smiling at the police officer that comes and make you resemble Swiss cheese if you ever speak to me again. Okay? They're so weird.
I don't even smile at them. I'm very morbid. I'll be
smile. Like, I don't look.
Girl, why you not smiling? My grandma dead. I ain't got nothing to smile about.
Girl, I wish I would explain it to him. I wish I would explain myself to the dude that can't even provide for his family. Really? I'm smiling because I'm not with you. That's what's up.
Coming Black says, I don't be smiling at all. I don't dress up. I just don't want nobody looking at me. It's sad, but I'm comfortable with it. Men they knocking women in faces with skateboards and shit. I'm comfortable in my sweatpants right now. You know,
that's why you won't see me getting at any of us. I'm not going to talk crap about any of us. I will talk crap about a mammy in a heartbeat. That's because she is nothing but a Tyrone with a coochie.
Oh, you know what? I was talking to this woman about something, and we was talking about how these men, you know, I have sons, you know, and how I have a daughter too, but how they follow these girls at night when they not interested in them. And she said, you got sons. When you tell your sons, if a woman says she's not interested and to not follow her to do something like that, I said, yeah, definitely. She said, you ever think those mothers are the ones sending those men, their sons out to get women in the street? I said, I know they are. I've experienced that.
Mm-hmm.
You see? So it's very wicked out here what is happening to Black women. But what we're seeing is this goddamn demon is the one doing it, especially the one that just shot the 2 women that are not Black women, but he shot them, right?
Are you talking about that Cali rapper I just went over?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking demons. And it's deep because having Black sons, and I said there needs to be a coping group for Black mothers with sons. I swear there needs to be one, because having sons, not just Black sons, but just having sons, period, it is a lot. And I know I say that a lot, but it's a whole lot. And the mothers that have these type of sons, I feel I can't, it's hard for me to feel for them, because you can see as a mother what your son is. And I'm telling you this as a mother with sons.
If I see a Black woman that has an only Black child, Black son, I'm going to view that as an act of aggression if she doesn't correct that behavior.
Yeah, because
when he grows up, he's going to fuck one of us up, and I'm not here for it.
Yeah. In New York City, the level of, like, one boy was on the train cutting, like, just cutting people, and he cut this man. The man defended him. The black man defended him.
I'm not surprised.
He defended that boy. I said, what the hell?
Girl.
And these mothers, these sons be having mental issues, and they know it, and they be releasing them out to the world.
Listen, there's some facts I want to go over with y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that argues facts, you're talking to a fool. Fact number 1, Tyrone is your number 1 predator. We have people out here that have platforms that tell you to give Tyrone a chance. That's a person that's not on your side. I wouldn't tell anybody to give their number 1 predator, a chance. Number 2, he's not family oriented. That is proven with the stats. If anything over 50% is most, that means most of them are not family oriented. Okay. Number 3, their genitals is a death trap. Whether you have their kids, whether you catch an STD, that thing in his pubic area, that's a killer right there.
Amen.
Stay as far away from it as you can. Now, I know that sounds all the way extreme. I told you, it won't be no fair and balance over here. Like I was trying to tell y'all earlier, Black women are in a state of emergency. When there's an emergency, you move quickly. You do things that are kind of extreme so you can squash the threat. Okay? So what you'll never see here is a makeup palette. You won't see any makeup palettes. You won't see me talking about listen. Stay away from Tyrone. End of story. Anyway, welcome to the show, LK.
Hi.
You got the floor, baby.
Oh, can you guys?
We can hear you.
Okay. I was only gonna jump in real quick because you guys were talking about mothers who send knowingly messed up sons after girls.
Mm-hmm.
I had an experience with that. That was actually my first boyfriend. Admittedly, I was young and dumb and I didn't know any better. I was an innocent young girl, and he had schizophrenia, and he used to text me messages threatening to kill me, and he'd go into trances where he'd attack people.
What?
And yes.
You said?
He would go into trances and attack people.
Oh, Lord.
And
keep going. I was taken aback by that one. In a trance. I pictured a scary movie, girl. Keep going.
He'd start growling and everything.
Oh my God.
And it got so bad finally, we broke up, but he still had like an interest in me, and he finally threatened my life, and my parents found out about it, and they were like, oh hell no, and called his mother. And his mother, she's like, oh my goodness, he's doing that too. She had known that that ran in her family and never saw fit to tell me, even when she was basically plotting our wedding.
What if I told you? What would you think of me if I told you? Well, that was just him. You don't need to mess with white guys because slavery. So what you need to do is jump back in that pool and find another black guy, because he'll understand you better. That was just him going into trances and shit. What would you think of me if I said that?
What? I'd be like,
And sister, don't forget, we had 400 years of slavery. You understand? And they used to take our brothers and bend them over, and they would buck break them.
Oh, okay? I know this.
We gotta stick with these brothers because we got to.
I went to an HBCU. I know the script.
Oh my God, that sounds like a nightmare. I couldn't imagine going to a HBCU. I went to a PWI in Florida. Okay. In Florida, and lived happily ever damn after. After my kids grew up, then I came out here and said, you know what? Let's get extreme. Let's get extreme, because I'm ready for some of these women to get the picture. I never want to see any one of you. I don't want to do a post about any of y'all on Facebook because something happened to y'all. That would break my heart into a million pieces. Okay. Anyway, go ahead. I'm talking too much.
I guess this is a free fall because I thought you had like a specific topic from what you had.
Oh, no.
You know what I'm happy about?
What's that?
I'm very happy that the young ones are talking. I'm so happy. These young girls, that scene with the one at the dinner table, she was like, I saw your mom text message. Did you get the $40 for your date? So it looks like you after my money. And I've had grown men be like, oh, where you work, this, that, and the third. And see, that's why I like to play broke girl. Okay? Broke girl. Broke girl. Okay? I live with my mama. I live in the basement. But see, the kind of woman I am, I can't really get away with the mama basement one. Because the way I carry, men ain't going to believe that part. But I do try to be broke and live with a lot of family. Nah.
Hey, Carla, welcome to the show.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, ma'am.
Okay. I really like the conversation. I just wanted to touch on a few things about just some of the things some of the other participants have already talked about. One, healing arts. I do feel where you're coming from. I've been very triggered these past few days, just with all the drama that's going on. So I do plan on, after this, I'm logging off probably for the week. But I also just want to mention about the other participant was talking about Eve, and that just reminded me of how people, especially in the Black community, they always want to box Black women into these like specific, like, I don't know what the word, I guess stereotypical roles, but it's like, we have like the media doing that already. But within the Black community, it's like you can't like other things. You can't have other interests. It has to be all Black all the time. I didn't like that.
No, we're not doing that. I've
never been like that. Like, and people always be like, "Oh, you Carla, you're trying to be white. You talking like these white girls, like this, that, and the third." Because like, I like to read books, I like to collect books, I like K-pop, I like anime, like I like all these things that are just like not like the stereotypical Black girl things to like, right? So, and I did not go to HBCU because I did not want to be around Black people all the time, like. And I know that sounds bad, and people.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound bad because there's some constants with Black folk that don't change. They love fighting over men. They love trauma bonding. They love like having children that they can't take care of or afford. It's a matriarchy, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because the Dusties, they skeet and run. They dump off that disgusting snot textured semen and run.
Yeah, and then they try to make you feel guilty about your lifestyle because you don't live the same as them.
Exactly.
You know, like your outcome was different. So,
Exactly.
you know, they're mean to you.
Very
And
mean
that's
and
the
jealous and
thing.
envious.
Yeah, I never lived around them, but I used to go in Blackistan a lot when I was younger, in my in my teens and early 20s. I would dabble in Blackistan just to try to prove my blackness, but those people always got me into a lot of shit.
Yeah, and just from my experience, before I went to college my senior year, my friend group had a big falling out because the couple of girls in the friend group felt like some of us were hanging out with the white girls, doing, just other stuff. And like we had a huge falling out. Like we had known each other for years. But that we fell out because of that. And to me, I was like, we're about to go to college. You feel me? Like we're about to be around different people from different backgrounds. Like, and you guys are still in this mindset. Like, so,
Once you get around people that are that small minded, it's time to
mm-hmm.
shake them off. You know, it's okay to give your girlfriends a chance, but once you notice that they're not going to get with the program, just, I'll see you on birthdays and Christmas if you want that to happen. You don't have to ever see the broad again if you don't want to, because they can get a little dangerous if they get too male identified.
Yeah,
Listen,
and also in Blackistan, they don't have any spiritual understanding of what toxic behavior is. Because even my past relationship, even when he would follow me, like tattoos or the type of music, like whatever it is that I would do, like creatively,
Mm-hmm.
I can see his family will pull him away. I remember when he locked his hair, they harassed him so bad for wearing his hair natural and harass. I mean, I know this is the blackest name, but I'm just making a point here. And what happened was his own mother and aunts were very toxic. See, I didn't know what I knew now to be like, nope, I can't deal with this. I was young. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of people, even this is the problem with hanging with them. Another thing about them is the level of how they gossip and this tea and this messiness that they do. That's very toxic too. You
Yeah.
understand? Like, someone always telling you what somebody said about somebody and all this talking, and you just be like, yo, can you just, like, it doesn't stop. There's no boundary with the behavior.
Right. That's an intimate thing. I gossip, but it's not. It's with one of my sisters or something like that, or somebody I'm really, really close to. I'm not gonna broadcast your business out here.
They talk about their own children, because the reason why Blackistan does that, and excuse me if I cut you off, the reason why Blackistan talks about their own children is because if I just talk about them, then you won't have anything to say about them. But to me, I'm not talking to you about my children. Those are my children.
Yeah.
I'm not going to speak ill about my daughter, my son. I'm not going to speak ill about any of my children. Those are my children.
In Blackistan, up is down and down is up. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of grandmothers in Blackistan raise their grandchildren. You get what I'm saying? Because the girl she was so young when she had the baby, and then they go off onto this journey to be able to better themselves and come back and get the kid by the time the kid is 10 years old. And then once you get the kid, doesn't have any respect for them, and the cycle just continues. It's just ugly there. The way we do shit is very, very ugly. The oldest child is the babysitter for the rest of the children. None of them have the same last name. It's just personally, let me tell y'all this, and I'll let you have the floor. I'm a nurse, right? And sickle cell anemia is prominent in Black folk. It's prominent in most, it happens in Black people more than any other race. I have this hypothesis that it came from a lot of these kids having sex with each other, not knowing that they were siblings. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it messed up their DNA. Okay. And now, because they all have the same daddy in, let's just say, a small town in Florida, somewhere like Lakeland, Florida, if he around here making these baby mamas all over the place, chances are you're going to end up with somebody that's related to you if you don't spread out.
You know what's funny? When I was young, I never forget this. A little boy saw me and I saw him, and we started running around and playing under the table. And wherever we were at, we was just playing around. I was with my mom. His mom comes through the door and snatched him away from me. That was the other woman my father had a baby with. You see? And he's like 2 years behind me. See what I'm saying? My mother was never really with my father. She found out in a harsh way while she was pregnant that he had a girlfriend. All right. And then, of course, she went on with her life, you know. But still, that's why she did that, because she noticed that I was his sister. And so she snatched me away from him. Now, mind you, their mother was like 15, 16. Their mother was very young mother.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So it can happen that way.
Listen, the deck is stacked against you if you don't want to leave Blackistan. And I'll wear a cute dress to whatever event to come see you at the hospital or whatever, or when you have another one of them bastards. But you if you don't leave and you know to leave, I think you get the worst karma, honestly. If you know that it's bad and stay, I think they get hit the hardest.
Yeah.
Hey, divested zealot.
Hmm.
You know what I've been noticing? Like, I'm in my mid-30s or whatever. I'm an older millennial, and the girls that I went to high school with, the black women that had kids when they were like teens and like early 20s, you know, but mostly teenage pregnancies. Okay, now they're trying to do their own thing and live their life, and their child has literally repeated the cycle and made them into a grandmother.
Yep, I know somebody that happened to. She's
And
15,
yeah, it's really
and now
bad.
her daughter
It's
was
like karma,
15.
because they were trying to run the street and have their moms raise their kids and try to be like a child-free person. And now it just came and bit them in the ass like that. Like, I know several 35-year-old grandmothers right now.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're not being smart. Put on birth control. I don't know what it is with black people. They think, oh, birth control means you're gonna have a lot of sex. No, not necessarily. You teaching her how to be responsible. You're giving her adult responsibilities. You're teaching her something. My daughter going to high school. I'm putting on her birth control. I don't give a damn.
I am too. I have one daughter, and she's only 4 years old. But I tell you what, whenever she gets older, she's gonna be put on birth control.
Yeah,
I took birth control till I was 30.
Yeah, till as soon as she hits high school, your ass is on birth control. I don't give a damn. And I'm gonna go to every appointment.
Give me a second, y'all. Goldie.
Mm-hmm.
If family members sleep together over and over again through the generations, it's going to mess up the family genetics. Therefore, your genes will mutate a bit and your cells will be messed up. That's my hypothesis. I don't think sickle cell is some sort of STD. So I'm hoping that straightened out what I was saying. Anyway, keep going, y'all.
Yeah, I think it's important because I was raised around a lot of Caucasians. And I remember these pro-black dusties used to say, oh, white women used to always say white women can't get pregnant. White women can't get pregnant. That's not true. They were all on birth control. Their mothers didn't play.
Right.
Their mothers didn't play. You know, if they were on birth control in damn middle school, remember, you can be young on birth control. You can just go up there and get it. So that was for them. They were young out there because their mothers allowed them, at least where I was raised, when they were teenagers, their mothers, talked to them about sex. That was allowed with them. But see, a lot of times white girls wasn't having sex. They would get blowjobs. So they didn't have to have sex.
Yes.
See what I'm saying? I heard this in high school. The white girls would say, they say, no, we don't have sex. It's like we give blowjobs so we don't have to have sex. So it's a very different world with sex. I don't understand in the black community why sex is not a topic when it's so much of it going around in our face, when in everybody's faces. Sex is right there.
The black community is one big orgy. The black community is one big orgy.
Exactly. And
everybody having sex with everybody.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And they look at little girls That, you know, I see all of this shit, and it's like, if they should know about this stuff, but for some reason, you know what it is? The mammies, they want to hurt their daughters. I mean, one was like, yeah, I don't let my daughter stay the night. I let her stay the night, and now she's pregnant, and I told her she's going to keep it. Why would you do that to your daughter?
I know girls that happened to also in high school, and it's like their mom was in denial that they were having sex, and it just was a really sick dynamic.
It's really, to me, you want to say it's warped, but at the same time, what's going on is there's some kind of spitefulness there, because I've seen Black women who, like, one time my mother, her some, I forgot who was, family friend, said she had bought some condoms for her daughter, and my mother was angry about it. You know, I'm old enough to know, like, there was nothing wrong with what the fuck her mother did for her. You see what I'm saying? Like, you as a mother, especially living in New York City, come on now. No, but you're going on birth control because you're not messing up my family lineage. I got shit I got to do. Okay?
Yeah, and I'm not trying to be a 26-year-old great grandmother, goddamn it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm about to hit 40 and I got plans all the way till I'm 50, young woman. And I ain't got time for you fucking up. You know,
yeah,
you will get we taking you here to get this damn birth control shot, and you need to show me who you're dealing with. Because I had to talk with my daughter, because she already told me how she feel about the Black boys in school and stuff. I told her I will be very fine if you don't bring none of them in here, you know. But you know, you gotta have this kind of relationship with your daughter. Who else? You're like, what? That's the part with Black women that I dislike. Even myself, I was resentful of my mother because I was not prepared for motherhood. I mean, womanhood. I wasn't prepared for shit. She didn't teach me shit.
Agreed. That's a lot of us.
And
Ebony, did I address you?
No, you didn't. I was trying to find a way to slide in, but it's
my bad. Go ahead.
This will be quick, you know what I'm saying? Because I know y'all got a conversation going, but
take your time. This is the kickback, baby.
Lately I've been seeing a lot of YouTubers kind of losing focus, and I'm just thankful that you and Big Talk and other people haven't lost it yet. And I know you said that, like, safety is involved, which is true. Safety is involved because if they keep digging at you and doxing you or trying to dox you and threaten you, then yeah, you're gonna be a little spooked. But I'd much rather you, and I'm not trying to, you know, tell you how to rank your content. I'd much rather you go underground and maybe resurface later than for you to change your content completely. Because that's kind of what I'm seeing lately.
Let me make you this promise live on air. I will not change my content. Period. Tyrone will always be the enemy, and I'm going to repeat that to people, whoever wants to hear it.
I mean, yeah, I do appreciate that because, like, I understand there's spaces for a reason, but I'm saying that people are trying to kind of integrate red pill stuff into WWE stuff, and I'm not with that really. Like, I understand trying to be cordial, which is, we're all adults, we should be cordial, but not.
Can somebody tell me what red pill is exactly?
You sound
basically insecure Black men who are dangerous is what I'm getting out of that, but it's kind of what I've noticed.
I thought Red Pill was a white man. I remember a white man named Red Pill. He used to talk about fatherhood and relationships and stuff like that. Don't be a stepfather. Now it's a Black Red Pill.
Yeah, there's a Hotep Black Red Pill.
Yeah, they can't have their own idea for shit.
Yep, there's a Hotep Red Pill.
I'm honestly
they got to steal the woman's sphere and be the manosphere, and now they took the red pill from Brad. That's crazy.
Well, I'm surprised this never came, because this doesn't come across my algorithm either. I only know because they were coming after CK and they were coming after KSC, so I had to figure out what they were talking. And they came after Chrissy a few months ago, so I was trying to figure out what this was. It's a whole community of very angry, insecure, dangerous, dusty Black men who blame everything on Black women. That's basically what most of their content is.
Black men
what?
want black women dead. They don't want us here. They don't want women here. They want to be with the white man. That's what the fuck they want to be. They want a high value Brad. Black man wants to be close to the white man.
You already know.
That's what you need to know. He hates women. He's showing you how much he hates women. Not only is he hit them in the skateboard, bite them in their eye, now he shot 2 on Instagram, and they're not black. They hate women.
Yep. And they want to be them at the same time.
They are sick and demonic.
They want to be them too. Every time you get some sort of what they think is an amenity, they get jealous and they start throwing it in your face. And it's like, is it because you want it or what?
Well, they're being women in male supremacy to say I'm a better woman than you. I can twerk better than you.
Can I say something real quick?
Sure.
I honestly think black men want to be women. They want to have the same access to things that we can have, which is a womb. Because when you think about it, a woman's womb can elevate her in society. She can give birth to kings, queens, princesses. You feel me? Like, people have used, women themselves have used their wombs to gain access to royalty. You see it through in English history and stuff like that. The fact that, the women who are divesting can get with, higher value, higher earning men because we are women, because we can give them legacy. That's what they really despise, because you can't do that as a man. You can't have a child. You can't give birth to a child. You feel me? So
they shouldn't want to.
They didn't want to, right? So that's the issue right there. Like, they want to be women.
Well, that showed you how warped in their head that they are. Because if you stay with a woman, you can be a part of that damn royalty. Then you can be a true king. They don't get it.
Yeah, I think they hate.
Welcome. I was just welcoming K Sloan up here.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hey, sorry. Yeah, I'm just listening to you, ladies, but I'll speak in a second after hearing all your good points.
Okay, go ahead, Aminti. I think that was Aminti talking.
No, the other person that just came in. I don't want to be rude.
Okay. Because if I get started, it's gonna be a long diatribe. So you better jump your ass in here.
I'm just. That's all I had to say, really. I promise. That's all I had to say, and I agree with her too.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you guys. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to say, hey, ladies.
Something up in here.
Yeah. Hey, ladies. It's so nice to be up here for the first time. Divested Zealot, ma'am, thank you so much for your channel. I just wanted to say, I just wanted to say real fast that I appreciate that you take such a hard line, because I'm so sick of being on other divested channels and having these random ass dudes with all their excuses completely derailing the conversation, being completely delusional. And it's just like, to me, at this point, there's no need for conversation, because I'm not interested in fixing anything. I'm not interested in repairing any relationships or building any bridges. I'm not interested in that at all. So whenever they're up there, exactly, period. And I just wanted to say real quick that so just a minute. So yeah, I'm 33 years old, so I'm a older millennial, and I spent my formative years in Australia. So I grew up in Geelong, Australia, the whitest white place you could get. I used to have an accent and everything. And then when I came back to Houston, Texas, in high school, I was completely shocked at the way things were. But as far as, because here I am thinking,
you still there?
And then as a foreigner, I was thinking, hey, I'm thinking of the narrative, the Black American. Yes, ma'am, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Okay, sorry. So when I was overseas, I heard the same narrative about Black Americans being oppressed and stuff like that. So I kind of mammied myself or pick-me'd or hotep myself before I went back to the United States, and partially it's because I wanted to fit in. Not that I didn't have trouble fitting in with my peers when I was overseas, but I wanted to feel Black or be Black. I wanted to be a part of that experience, but I often had trouble fitting in because I wasn't Black enough, or I didn't experience certain things, or I didn't listen to certain types of music, and I was constantly shocked at the culture. As a matter of fact, my mom, growing and now that I'm grown, we can have more conversations about children, but she was telling me how when she was growing up in Virginia, she observed how poorly Black girls were treated, and she made a promise to herself that she would never ever do that to me, because I have a younger brother. So listening to some of my Black female friends now and hearing how different it was, I'm constantly shocked by just all these differences. But for me, another reason why I love your channel so much is because I'm a bit of a dumbass, and I'm a soft-hearted dumbass, and I'll constantly listen to sob stories and kind of be taken back in. But then I like the fact that you keep it real, you state the facts, and that kind of keeps me focused on not being taken advantage of. So that's all I wanted to say. But thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank all of y'all who appreciate the channel so much. I feel like y'all bless me. When I first started this channel, I'm like, I'm fixing to have about 6 subscribers, and 2 of them gonna be trolls. But y'all came and showed up and showed the hell out. I appreciate y'all.
Can I say something? Because then
Yes,
I'm gonna
ma'am.
just drop off. But last thing, I do understand that there are a lot of crazies on YouTube, and they're still coming after CK to this day. Like, she's still getting a lot of threats to her life and her children and stuff. So if you gotta disappear, I mean, by all means, because you do a lot as it is. So I do understand, but stay safe. That's zealot, because I know it's crazy.
We will. You do the same thing, babe.
All right. Good night, y'all.
Bye. Y'all don't owe anybody nothing. You don't owe anybody an explanation as to why you living your life the way you are. Tell them to get their fingers and do Google searches, and they will have so many stories as to why you are the way you are. And you're not trying to end up like those ladies in those stories.
I've been thinking about this. What if Black women can band up and demand by the government what the hell we want?
That would be awesome.
Law.
That would be awesome.
When a man has a hate crime against a woman, he should be sentenced to this. And show the statistics and show the things and show how the crime should be harsher upon them. And I wish I thought of this when Trump was in office. I really did. All the stuff he was doing, it makes me want to cry. I wish I would have thought of this at that time in my life, because that's what Black women are going to have to start doing. We're going to have to take it to the government and be like, this is what we want to happen. This is what's happening to us.
Huh? I don't see why not, because guess what? We getting presidents elected out here doing all this extra stuff for everybody else. Who in the hell is going to do anything for us? I say that we do it.
Yeah, I say let's try. I really feel we should band up quietly. Go, you know what I'm saying? Talk to the government, write some letters and say, look, this is what's happening to us as Black women. This is what we're going through in the work world as Black women, and show the statistics, show the facts, and be like, this is what we want. And this is what we want y'all to do in law with these men, because they have become our enemy. But you know what the problem is? And I hate to think like this. It's them goddamn mammies. They won't get out the way.
Yep, they need to be seen. I agree with you. They need to be seen as a domestic terrorist for the most part.
They do. I mean, I know I have sons here, but shit, I'm raising mine, so I don't give a damn. My thing is this. We have to take it to paper. They are dangerous. We don't feel safe outside with those men.
You shouldn't. Have you seen what's going on just this year alone? We don't have to talk about what's happened in the past. We can talk about all the stuff that's happened this month with these animals.
Oh, Morsha faced it. I tried to tell y'all. Okay. So Morsha's riding on the same. I mean, this hit me hard. Like while I was sleeping, when I woke up, like yo, we as much as black women do, this is what needs to be. This is the footprints. This is the steps that needs to happen. We need to write and show this shit and say, yo, just tell our stories so they can at least know what the fuck we're going through.
Well,
you know,
word on the curb is we have a black woman in the White House. So I heard that on the streets. I haven't seen her, but word on the curb is there's a black woman sitting up in that White House.
What do you think she's going to do about the Dusties?
I think she's going to do absolutely nothing about them. I think that she's going to sit back, see what they want her to do, and then she's going to do it. When I say they, I mean the people that's already in Congress and Senate and all that good stuff.
When Trump was in office, it would have got done.
I agree.
Well, you know what? They might end up, like I said, they got the Trump card. They might get the Joker card with Kamala. And, Biden had that. He's the one that wrote that 3 strikes law back in the day. They might end up getting a 1 strike law.
No, they need to be put down as a hate crime for all us that are dying and being killed out here unjustly, uncalled for, being viciously raped and attacked in the streets. Something needs to be done.
And like I know it sounds kind of harsh, but like they need to enforce like vasectomies for the ones that aren't paying child support and taking care of their kids.
Damn right.
Start with my damn baby father.
I thank God I didn't have a kid by one. I got one out. I got one daughter out of wedlock, but it's by a white. She's by a white Hispanic, and I don't have to deal with even half of the stuff that I hear about from some girls and other women, and I just couldn't imagine it. I probably wouldn't have had kids.
You know why most black men don't take care of their children? You want to know the truth? Because of their mama.
Yeah, they're used to seeing their moms being mules.
No. Because of their mama. Their mama won't push them to be men. Their mama won't care. Their mamas will make them focus on them instead of their own family. They're very manipulated by their mamas, even if there's a daddy there.
For some reason, mammies feel some type of way when they see their sons having to do hard work. That's a man. Can you not coddle him, please? He's built for it.
That's what I didn't like with my brother, with the white woman, he's non-black woman he's with, because she was like, I'm gonna just take care of children and stay home. And she was laughing about it like she needs to work, but it looks like she don't really work. Last time I heard she worked at the daycare, but the children were still able to stay in the daycare with her. You see?
Yeah.
But still, like, I didn't like that. Like, if that's the relationship that they have, that ain't your damn business. You chose to work and do all that damn work.
Well, they encourage it. Black men reward women with compliments when they do stuff that they supposed to be doing themselves. Y'all are on Facebook. Y'all see all the pictures and posts with women changing tires. And I was just looking at a picture today with a pregnant lady. She got her man home being a housewife and she working doubles and she's about to pop. And he made a post saying how awesome she is. Are you kidding me? It turned my stomach.
It's sickening, divested zealot. Like, I have a younger cousin. She's only like 23 she's about 23. She's got a small son that she had by a Dusty that has 8 kids. And he's like a borderline pedophile type because he's in his 40s. And she started working when the baby was like probably like 1 month, and she's doing midnight shifts, 12-hour shifts at a warehouse.
Damn. Warehouse work is hard, man.
Yeah. Right after childbirth, a C-section.
See, and that's another reason why the stats with black women's health is horrible. You don't even get the time to stay home and heal after giving some dude a baby.
Yep. And I wasn't married to my partner or whatever, but we did make an agreement about the whole working situation. And I told him I'm not working full time at all. I'm not working until after my daughter's 5. And we've stuck by that. And I've been able to go back to school and do some things, that I've been wanting to do. And I don't have to worry about all that. And I also send her to private school to keep her away from them dusties because she's mixed and she'll end up being a target.
As far as relationship goes, I'm glad you man, I'm so glad y'all have y'all head on straight. As far as relationships go, that has to start from the door. You can't change them. So you have to go in with him already agreeing to do what he has to do. You can't be working and then all of a sudden say, hey, I think I should be able to stay home because it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem because you're divesting. He ain't divesting. He don't know what the hell you're talking about. He's going to tell you to get away from his face with that internet shit.
Yeah, and then it's a lose-lose situation when a mother's not able to stay at home with their child for a certain amount of time, or at least most of the time, because it's just they'll be exhausted and drained. It's horrible, and that's why there's so much obesity and health problems that Black women have, because they're working like mules, and then they're trying to take care of kids at the same time. It's sad.
Yep.
But
What's more
honestly,
sad is their lack of wanting to be a father. And that's my experience. It's
they don't
like,
have a connection with the kid.
Yeah, it's like, dude, can you come get the boys? Oh,
See,
I
you having to be asking him that. See,
yeah, exactly. And then it'd be like, but you going to fucking Six Flags and Vegas with your mama and your brother. See what I'm saying?
He's still operating as a child. He's traveling with his mother and going to Six Flags. That sounds like a 15-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
I think because of how the Black community is, Black women have been conditioned because we get praised for working overtime. It's not even overtime at this point. It's something else. But like you're 8 months pregnant and you're still working in a warehouse and doing all this stuff. You get praised for little things like that. So when like these level up channels are coming up and they're saying like, if you want to be a housewife, be a housewife. And then some women are so offended by that. It's like, what is the issue here? Nobody wants to work all their life, breaking
The
their
ugly
back,
truth is,
going to school, cleaning, cooking,
right,
raising the kids. Like not everyone wants to do that. And I think they think like we're stupid because I know I say that a lot. Like, I do want to be a stay-at-home mom for a time, while the kids are growing up and everything, or at least until they go to elementary school. And people are like, oh, that's so dumb. Like, what if he runs with all the money? It's just like, you must think I'm a stupid person because even if a guy is taking care of you and everything, you still got to have your own bag. Like, if you don't even know that, like, then what are you even doing? Like, you're dumb to even assume that a woman wouldn't have her bag even though a man is taking care of her. So that's just like their main excuse for, oh, he's going to control everything. He can leave you like destitute. It's like, if I was an idiot, yeah.
Blackistan, listen, they don't make no goddamn sense.
Nope.
Therefore, you should not ever listen to Blackistan. They don't make no goddamn sense. And when you make sense, they make you out to be the goddamn devil in the room. Okay? They make mockery of you.
Because they're in a cushioned position. If anybody, listen, if you at work and somebody say, hey, you're working in an office, it's air conditioned and this, that, and the third, and your boss comes and says, hey, listen, you're going to have to work outside and this office business, no, that's not going to be it anymore. You're going to do manual labor. You're going to have a fit. It's like, what? I'm giving up my cushy job to do what? That's the panic that they have. So when they see us moving on, it's like, oh shit, my cushiony job is getting outsourced.
I'm gonna say this, and this is what I've discovered. This is just my perception. It's what I see. 1969 to 1980. I noticed that those are the people that are just hitting 40, right? Those 40-year-olds to 50. There's a lot of them that are very immature. It's something about, and I'm just saying, the ones that I've crossed paths with are very immature. Like there's an
I'm
arrested
43. I'm
but you're
43. I
still
grew up with them, and I know what you're talking about. They still dress like their hip hop 90s and all this stuff. It's like,
yes.
what the hell is wrong with you?
The men,
Grow up.
those are the Dusties.
That's
Those are the original Dusties, and the men from the 60s, of course, but those are the Dusties right there.
they act like they're in their 20s. They compete with younger men instead of trying to help groom them to be something better. You're competing with him over a 23-year-old girl. Leave that girl alone and go build something. You somebody granddaddy. Don't nobody want no granddaddy dangalang boy.
That's what I'm talking about. And I also find that those are the men that date the very, very young girls, that target them.
I'm starting to just look at all of them as pedophiles by nature.
Me too.
It sounds bad, but it's what's best.
Yes.
I think if you notice, they go after girls who are just barely legal. And I think I'm the youngest person on the panel. I'm 22. And
Aww.
I usually go for older guys.
Right.
Sorry, y'all. Gen Z here, like I'm up on the game and everything. I usually go for older guys, but it's just like the last guy I was talking to, I'm like, you're 31 and you're like dusty. Like what? Like I can't even deal with the foolishness that goes on in this community.
They looking for the same thing you looking for. They looking for somebody to take care of them, treat them like somebody, but they don't want to do anything. They looking for a zaddy, hunty.
I want all of you young women to focus on school and your career. The men are going to be there, honey. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't going nowhere.
They're gonna always be there.
Focus on your school. Focus on your career. Really get your life the way, because 20s is emotional, 30s is that time, that's the prime time, I say. But just figure out, do everything while you're in your 20s, and then when you get in your 30s, mid-30s, you really figure out what you really want to do with your life. Trust me.
And don't let anybody shame you into having kids early.
Don't let
either.
nobody shame you. Don't let the mammy shame you into having kids, and get your butt on birth control if you decide.
Period.
I'm for keeping it locked in and not having sex, because that's what I'm riding on. But you have your own life, but make sure you're on birth control.
At least make them earn it. At least make them earn it. Whenever they don't have to work for it, they treat it like it's no different than if somebody gave you $20 versus you earning the $20. You appreciate it more when you have to earn it. And that's why they keep taking L's. You just laying back, throwing your ankles behind your ear and saying, okay, go for what you know. That ain't it, hun bun. Stop it. Knock it off.
Most definitely. And going back to the topic of, Black women not wanting to get on birth control. Listen, I was a late bloomer. I didn't start dating till I was 20. So, because my mom was very strict, like grew up very religious and all this stuff. I was very prudish in high school. So I really only started dating 2 years ago, and I was talking to this guy. I immediately got on birth control. We didn't even do anything, but I was just like, let me just go get on this birth control. And I ended up cutting him off because he was asking me for money, but that was a whole nother thing. But I was just like, I've been on birth control ever since. And like a lot of my friends are not on birth control, or they don't like to use condoms. And I'm like, what?
They let the dusties get in their head. They're nasty. Let me tell you something. It'll be a one time that they having sex with you and they don't have no condom. They are disgusting. You're talking to a woman who man walked through the door and told her she had HIV. He had HIV, knowing he had it, but I don't have it. Okay.
Welcome to the show, Lo.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi. I wanted to comment about when you were saying like they're competing with the young men, like just the dust in general. My dad, if you can call him that, y'all, I don't know what the hell he's going through. I mean, but it's crazy. He didn't dyed his hair blonde. And
What?
he doesn't, girl.
How old is your dad, if you don't mind me asking?
44.
The
Okay.
70s. The 70s. See? I just said it.
Yeah, 44. He didn't. Well, I mean, he bleached his hair blonde, and the man barely got hair, so I don't understand why he did that. And he doesn't dress like how a man's supposed to dress. I hate seeing hoodies. I hate seeing I just hate that. It
They
doesn't.
all dress like 90s rappers.
You just
None of
said
them
that.
have, you're right. They don't have a pair of decent shoes. They don't have a pair of slacks because they're not ever going anywhere important. That's why.
Well, that's the thing. He has all the shoes in the world, but he ain't never got money for child support. I
Oh,
and
shit.
it's just crazy. Like, I remember he lives in Atlanta, so that says a lot in itself. Um, went down there to visit him. I'm one out of 5 girls, different women. Went down there to visit him. This man has paid maybe like $200 worth of child support. I'm 20 now. Only paid $200 worth of child support. I go in his room. It's like shoe boxes to the ceiling. It made no sense. It don't matter if they fake or not. It's still money. It's shoe boxes, like rolls of shoe boxes, going up to going up to his ceiling. And it made no sense to me. But when I was younger, I didn't understand that. I probably visited him when I was like 13. So that was also when I was in that, we gotta help the black man, that bullshit. I was into that. So I didn't see the fault in him, at all. I just didn't see it. I just saw him, I had to feel bad for him or whatever I saw. And now looking back on it, it's like, channels like yours that just wake people up. Because him not being here, of course, I didn't know. I didn't know what a man really was. I didn't know how it's supposed to be treated. And I honestly thank God, the universe, whoever it is, because when I was 18 to 19, yeah, so those 2 years, whoever said, God was like, I'm gonna just put you through all the dust so you just know to stay away from them. Because I had like the freaking worst experience, and I was young. So what did I start? I started dating this dude like when I was 17. I mean, everything under, not everything, but under the sun that you could go through as a 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old. It was absolutely crazy. I mean, yeast infections,
Oh, my
heartbreak,
God.
lies. And I had never had a yeast infection until I let him convince me to not use a condom.
Yeah, they're
Girl.
known to give bacterial infections and mess up the pH balance on women. That's why a lot of mammies have vaginal odor.
See,
See, I didn't
and
want
I
to go
didn't
there.
know
I
that.
didn't want to
So,
go
but
there,
I
but
was
you
Girl,
went
young.
there.
one woman put me on to tea tree suppositories. And yeah, like I said, I don't have
Oh,
sex. I don't have odor. I did a lot of spiritual work for myself. And I have to tell you, it feels good to have one, but I'm just like, if you got to put this up your pussy because you having sex, then you don't need to be having sex with whoever the hell you having
right.
sex with.
Yeah, and they're so nasty, and they're always talking about how black women's pussy stinks. It's the ones that are fucking them. You
They're
know.
nasty,
Right.
girl.
They are the ones that's making their pussy stink.
Yep.
They are nasty.
They're
Most
very
of them,
nasty. I used to give condoms out to mammies all the time. I'm like, do you need a condom?
Girl, I need one.
Sometimes they smell like they need a damn condom. It's disgusting.
And it
It's
wasn't until
gross.
like a year in, because I'm like, okay, I'm thinking it's me, because I wasn't properly educated with, like, sex and all that. They just never talked to me about it. When I got to college, my uncle was like, because they know their own game. He was like, even if he says just let me stick the tip in, just don't, like, that was a quick 5 minute talk, and it scared the heck out of me. One, because I had never, nobody approached me about it. My mother never approached me about it. It wasn't until like this year my mom told me that my dad tricked her. Like, he took the condom off without telling her, and she didn't know. It wasn't until like these talks, people waited just a tad bit too late. Um, But yeah, I didn't know. But when I tell you this, like a year into the relationship, this Negro had the audacity. He was like, "Yeah, sometimes I don't wash." Yeah, I was, and my brainwashed ass was still like, "Oh, oh, that's okay. You know, you just didn't know. You didn't know." Oh my God, who was I? Ew.
It's okay. It's okay. You're not the only one. It's okay.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
have a
I know.
girlfriend that
Oh,
she's in my parenting group, and she had her kids after 30 as well, and she was messing around with a 40-something-year-old Dusty that lied and said he had a vasectomy, and she let him have sex with her raw, and that's how she conceived.
yeah.
So
All
those
I can
older
say.
ones are still very manipulative. You know,
Mhm.
they'll try to get you pregnant.
To stop you.
Yep.
They only go hard to get you pregnant to stop you.
Mhm.
Whatever you're doing for yourself, they want to stop you.
Yep.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's what's so fun. They're so narcissistic. They don't even come around for good reasons. They're just demonic. They just want to destroy everything that's your happiness, everything that they didn't get to wasn't allowed to have in Blackistan. They try to snatch it from you.
You're
That's what the
exactly
mammies.
right.
The
Let me shout her out real
mammies.
quick. The
Mhm.
Riddler, Mammy slaying ass Riddler. Thank you, baby. I appreciate the super chat. Keep going. I had to shout her out though. I love her so much.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
So you understand that that's what the mammies do too. The mammies come in your life as a friend, like they try to make you feel like they're your friend, and that's when they strike. But the way that the mammy strikes is she come into your life as your friend, and then she starts her criticizing. Then she starts well, people said this about you, and people said that's what mammies do
Yeah.
before you really see them for their true colors, type of stuff. Because like I said, they're the worst because they're the ones that will set you up.
Yeah, they're the
That's
worst.
true.
They want to see you miserable like them.
Hmm.
They're very narcissistic. I just have to keep saying it. They're very narcissistic. Something is snatched away from them that they have to snatch it away from you. You know
Yeah.
something is mentally wrong with someone to do that, even their own children.
That's why they continue to promote these out of wedlock situations. They don't want to promote marriage. They don't want to promote stability. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I'm very pro choice. I don't
Me
feel
too.
like a lot of
Yeah.
women should be having children, black women at that, when you know you cannot provide for the kid because the child is the one that's going to suffer. I see this
Yeah.
all the time, and it really pisses me off because it's like, you have these kids growing up in unsafe neighborhood, uneducated, not well taken care of. They look raggedy when you see them. It's just a mess. They didn't ask to be brought here. And I do see a lot of people, the Dusties and the mammies, like they're very like anti-abortion and all that stuff. And to me, I'm just like, I would not willingly bring another human being into this life, and I know I cannot take care of them. I know I cannot provide for them because you are literally setting your children back 1,000 feet. You guys want to talk about like the white people are this much ahead of us, and why is that? you know?
Yeah, and
Right.
then the ones with that whole abortion thing, they don't like abortion because they can't afford it. Do you know how many black women I know that said that this is what they told me? They told me the only reason why they had a child is because the guy, the Dusty, would not pay for an abortion. One of my cousins, she said the motherfucker didn't want to even pay for a morning after pill. That's $50.
Oh my God.
$50.
Listen,
That's
Planned
like the hidden
Parenthood,
secret with the abortion thing. Them niggas don't have the money to pay for it.
people need to go to Planned Parenthood. Like, you guys want to talk about like it was for eugenics, this, that, and the third. Give me one company in the United States that doesn't have racist roots.
Well,
Like,
Margaret
are you
Sanger,
kidding
because
me?
I speak about her a lot, not to cut you off.
Yeah.
She, okay, she is for women. This is her story. She saw immigrant women who were having unwanted pregnancies. You have to read her papers, which she wrote. Okay. And these Negroes, you know what they did? They put the word Negro in her quote. She never said nothing about a damn Negro. Okay. What she said is she wanted to help women that was having unwanted children. She even went to, Triple K, to those people. She went to the women. She wrote about this and she talked to them. She has an interview, a black and white interview from like the 50s, where she said, if you do not have the resources, then you should not have children. Margaret had a boy and a girl, and that was with her second marriage. Margaret had to run away to Europe. Okay. She created this pill 1915. It was called Novid. How funny is that? The first birth control. Novid. She had to go create that in Europe somewhere and came back. She was for women with unwanted pregnancies, women dying from having pregnancies. Oh. Yes, it was for women. It didn't care. And what happened is the Negro man was the one who caused all the problem for the black woman with the birth control, as always. And it was a black man that supported her. I wish I remember that nigga name, but he supported her and signed her off for doing it. But but it was the black men that got to the black women.
I'm not sure if you guys watched the show. It's called Call the Midwife. It's set in like the late 1950s to early 60s. They go over all this stuff, you know. And I'm watching this show and they're talking about these women were literally, they're so desperate to not have kids. They were doing every and anything they could not to have a child, knowing that they can go to jail for it, because back then you would go to jail. And you know, you have people here now who are destitute. Like, these people are really out here destitute and are just knowingly having kids. And if they really knew the history of, you know, how the pill came about and how so many women died with botched abortions, just outright killing themselves because they already have 9 kids.
This is the one that kills me, y'all.
And they can't take care of the kids. So it's like, why do you keep having kids if you can't take care of them?
This is the one that's crazy as hell, y'all. The birth control makes you gain weight type shit, but they cooking ham hocks on the weekend.
Oh my God.
What you mean, Miss Cinnamon girl? Okay, so eat a salad and take your birth control pill. Because you selling me some snake oil right there. You don't care about that. Not with every time I see you, you got a bag of hot Cheetos, and I just come on now.
And see, I was like that. I did end up going on birth control. I honestly, I don't even think it was really the birth control that made me gain weight. I think it was because I was with him, and they don't really care when you start getting, you know, looking unruly and stuff like that. Because I gained weight, didn't even realize it until my mama woke me the fuck up. Was like, girl, you're fat. I was like, oh my God, I am. But like, literally, I was still on it. I recently stopped just because of what's it called? Because of COVID. So I was like on my last month pack, and I had to I didn't have the time to go. Well, everything was closed, so I couldn't go back up there. But I have like a backup thing, and I'm gonna get back into that. I'm gonna get into that in a sec. But literally, it is an excuse for some not to use it, because if you just watch, like you said, if you just watch what you eat, if you watch your cravings, you know, discipline yourself, you'll be absolutely fine. Because even on my final months of it, I was able to lose like 20 pounds. So
it's better to be a little chunky than have kids you can't afford. That's what I tell them. Girl,
that makes more sense. And that's what don't make sense about them. Like, it just shows how much they get to these black men get to the brains of black women on such a deep level. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's also like, I have to go back to the mammies, like the whole spitefulness. See, this is why I say they're black women. We need to sign a paper stating this domestic, the terrorism that's going on out here, and there needs to be laws passed for us.
Until we can do that, we need to stay away from these guys.
And we also need to
stay away and educate yourself.
right, even to the point of if a child is sexually abused in the house with a mother there, and it can be proven that she knew, or take her ass to jail too, please. That needs to be in the law too, man. I swear, like, it's so much stuff going on in the Black community that I'm just like, can we just knock on the door, sign a paper, write some shit down, and say, look, this is what the hell's going on. Enough is enough.
Mm-hmm. And this is what, okay. So I didn't know about this until I went up to Planned Parenthood, because this whole time when I did use condoms, I thought I was allergic to like the latex or whatever, because I was having reactions to it. Turns out you can actually be allergic to spermicide in the condoms, which I didn't know.
Boom.
Yeah. So
Boom.
if you have issues with that, you go up to Planned Parenthood, ask them for spermicide-free condoms, or you can buy them on the internet. You just have to, make sure they truly are spermicide-free, and you can still use condoms if you don't have access to the pill. And if you feel like you can't afford it, just try. Literally, if you have no income, low income, you can get it for free. I got it for free. I'm working on
When
getting
all
it
else
free.
fails, y'all, just get a damn vibrator. These dusties don't know how to throw no dick, no way.
They don't,
don't know
man.
how to throw it right anyway. I'm telling you, I've heard horror stories about this wild ass sex it's just wild for no reason. And you wonder why most women don't have an orgasm with them.
Girl, I
Because they
seen
don't know what they're doing.
this Dusty who lied to me, and I found out he had fucking baby mother and kids, and I'm looking like, you had kids with this nigga? like, I couldn't get over the fact that like she had kids with that shit. The fuck?
It's a nightmare. It's sometimes when you see them with their significant other, it's like, listen, I might need to have you Baker acted. If y'all don't know what Baker acted is, in Florida, if you think somebody's losing their mind, you call the police and they'll come and do a mental health check on them. Seeing some of these dudes, some of them girls need to be Baker acted, because there's no way. Really? Uh-oh, somebody got a call. But yeah, what do you mean? That's your guy? This dude that can't even pull his pants up all the way?
And what's funny is I don't get how people can get addicted to the because black dick is not big anymore. My grandma was when I was talking to this about my grandma, she was like, yeah, because they stopped eating vegetables, started eating all this bullshit. And the men, whatever, the myth, the legend of the big black dick doesn't exist anymore. I don't get how
You're right, and I can only tell you that from a nursing perspective, because I'm not. I listen. I've put in a lot of Foley catheters before, and I've seen some little small. Oh my god! I won't say
You
that.
want to know the truth? I think, and it may sound extreme, I think men like that, they violated somebody. I think it's karma. Y'all know what I'm saying. I think it's karma.
I do.
I think it looks like that because you did something. You violated a child. Something you did something.
Yeah, you didn't fully grow into manhood.
Yeah, I
Even
really believe that.
And I'm
even the
just like, I
ones
don't get
who
how. I understand that's like literally the only appeal going for them, but I don't understand how it's still going for them.
I
Because
don't understand that
it's been
either.
a long time. I bet it's been a long time since it even existed, if it ever existed.
Welcome to the show, Island Girl.
Well,
hey. The ones who do have like a big dick or whatever, they don't know how to use it. I'm speaking from experience here. And I know like Divested Zealot has said before, like it's almost like it's just like pain. Like they get off on that. It's not like, when I hear my friends talking about their experience with black men, are like, oh, like I want him to break my back. I'm like, what? Like that's the stuff like, they get off on. It's just like, I guess that's the whole appeal to it.
It's disgusting. It's like rape sex. That's their style.
Because they hate women. They do. I know that can sound harsh, but they hate women.
And then
Something
a
is
lot
wrong
of
with
them
them.
are they have sexual identity problems too, because I think a lot of them are gay deep down,
Ooh.
because they're always they're just they act gay too.
Girl, I knew a man. Girl, I did mm. He wouldn't get up. And then I put it together one day. He likes penetration. See what I'm saying?
Oh,
And yeah, so you got that going on too. But his was more wild. And what freaks me out is that this is a man that works around children. That's what bothers me about it. And I know people's sexuality is their sexuality, but when you see that and you've experienced that with a man and you know that he works with children, especially like foster children and stuff, that your mind goes into space like, whoa. It's hard.
I can I've heard of a lot of that. Like my brother is a teacher and he was teaching at a school. He lives in Houston and he was teaching at a school that had like, a pretty large population of black male staff, and he was saying that they most of them were gay, and they just acted, it was just a really toxic environment. And he said he was getting pedophilia vibes because he walked into the principal's office and one of the kids was sitting on his lap, and he was like he just couldn't do it anymore after that. And he was like, this is the type of stuff that gives black men, a bad name in with the education system and stuff.
Do you guys see the comment banner? JL says, for many black women and girls, their first introduction to their sexuality or sex is through violation. That's why they chase violent sex a lot of times. And I agree with that 100%.
That is very true.
That makes a lot of sense.
Very true.
Y'all, I can't. It's so much dysfunction to unpack. We could literally be in this bitch all night long to the break of dawn.
Yeah, that's why we need to write with somebody. We need to start somewhere, right? Show these statistics and demand what we need. Like, yo, make some laws for us. Make some laws for us.
First, you got to remove your help. Once they see that certain shit can't run without us, that's when we come with the list of demands, because we'll be more, we'll get them.
How is that going to be possible with all these mammies? We fighting against the goddamn mammies.
And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. I am a mammy shamer. We got us a mammy slayer in the comment section. I'm trying to tell you, that's why I don't do that other content. That's why I will not do level up. I don't focus on dating that much. The only thing I talk about is first, let's get you to safety, sis. Let's get you from over there, sis. Let's do that first. And then you figure out where you're going to go after that.
Yeah, it seems like mammies, they're the ones that are in political positions and their voice is being heard a lot more.
So they're loud.
No. And they're the ones screaming on the microphone, looking crazy. Looking
talking about some defund the police. Yeah,
right. Why do you hate us? Why do you hate us? Shut the hell up, bitch. Shut up.
If they want to take up a plight, it can be the outcomes in hospital settings for black women. More black women die in hospitals than black men getting shot. And nobody wants to talk about that.
Thank you.
They never want to talk about the issues that black women are facing because apparently we don't face any issues. We must be like some fairies or something because we just out here like.
We've made them think that we feel like it's okay for us to throw everybody on our back. Throw the Democrats on our back, throw black men on our back, and then the crazy ones of us throw Becky's on our back. I'm like, wait, hold on. No, we're not doing that.
I guess I'll jump in real quick. My thing is, I'm just like, when are we going to stop falling for the okie doke as black women? Well, not me, but like, it's like, for whatever reason, a lot of us think that we're the exception to the rule. And I'm like, for generations, especially with the, like, I just don't understand how in 2020, 2021, you're becoming a single mother. Like, at this point, I just truly don't understand it. Y'all are making these men that barely have a high school education talk you into having kids. Like, he can't afford an abortion. He can't afford, was it like $50 for the morning after pill? Like, he can't afford that.
Yeah, and it's like these women, they don't want to see them as the same guys that were in special ed in school. Like these are the same special ed developmentally delayed individuals. They're just adults.
See, the way I date, I don't play that. I verify everything. I verify the college you went to. I verify your job because depending on where they work, you could go to the company website and see their credentials. So I just don't understand. It's like at this point, I'm like, do y'all want to struggle? Like you see your grandmother go through this, your mother,
They
your
do.
sister,
They do.
your
It's
friend.
tradition. It's tradition. Yeah, they want to struggle. It was good enough for my mama. It was good enough for no, no, ma'am. No.
Absolutely not.
The
I'm watching.
mammies. Again, I know I keep talking about them damn mammies. There's no damn protection of the girls and the boys and the children. They don't care. They don't
That's why
care.
you need to leave. And I'm not talking about leave, go level up and come back. I'm talking about leave and
Hell
don't
no.
look back.
Right.
Be like
Don't look back. Leave permanently. Let the
See,
chips fall where they may.
a one
Get
way
to
like
ticket.
Eve.
safety.
Eve should have never came back and answered no question about her interracial relationship. She
Thank
should have
you.
never
Period.
told
Yeah,
it.
you don't have to explain yourself. It's nothing. And let me tell you, when they had these riots, I live in Chicago. When these riots were happening, I live over east with, and it's not, well, really no side of Chicago is good, but it's not as bad as the west. But the east ain't the best. So when they were rioting and looting and all of this, um it was like my mom and I weren't even thinking about moving because we just weren't. It wasn't on the radar. But girl, they blew up the Dollar Tree over by where I live because these Negroes don't understand that helium is flammable. They blew that bitch up, and that was like the final
Wow.
fucking straw. And really, it should have been the final straw when this guy, and it's about the mammies. This girl came all the way from Texas to get away from this Negro because he was threatening to kill her. She moved over here, a couple blocks away from me, and this woman drove him, the woman that he currently had pregnant, she drove him to that woman's house and shot her. She's pregnant. And she died. Of course.
Oh my
And
god.
it was just too much. And there's a whole bunch of other shit happening. But it's Chicago. But girl, we up out of here. We going to one of the affluent suburbs because it's just time. It's time. And we just waiting to close. And it's because of channels like yours. Because I probably would have just sat here and been like, well, that's just the community I live in. But it's not fucking right. I mean, nothing. No, how many people have to deal with this type of shit?
Trust me, that's the best thing you could do is get out of the environment. I did the
That's
same
right.
thing. Trust
That's
me,
right.
I moved into a very nice building. My first apartment was in the ghetto, but I was like, I don't care how much it costs. I'm moving into a nice building, security. Like I don't want to be around certain people, and I don't give a damn who feels offended. I like where I live. People have sense. People act civilized, and that's what I like.
I agree. My grandmother lives in the ghetto. This summer was off the chain. I mean, people were shooting in her parking lot.
Oh my god.
I moved out in November. I got my own place because I'm not trying to have a straight bullet come through the window while I'm trying to sleep.
Jesus Christ.
Um, Seriously, it was just crazy. I'm from Minnesota, so all the riots this summer, it was insane. Um, and I also want to say like a thing about the generational curse. Some people keep saying that. I don't really like that word. I don't like that idea.
Me
I just feel
either.
like it's not a curse if you continually do the same exact thing over and over and over again.
It's laziness.
It's not a
Mm-hmm.
curse if you saw your grandma go through the same thing. She was destitute, had 5 kids. You saw your mom go through the same thing, and you just sit there and do the same thing. That's not a curse. You saw what they went through. You lived through it. You saw how like they react. They tell you to your face like, "I regret having you," like stuff like that. And you go ahead and you do the exact same thing. That's insanity. That's not a
Crazy.
curse. A witch
Yeah.
didn't put a curse on you.
You
That's
make,
insanity.
you make a wise
Yep.
decision to do something different. You
Right.
just make a wise decision to do something different. Just becoming a mother snaps something in you, especially you have a girl child. Wait a minute. When you love your children, you want the best for your children. And you damn sure don't want them to be teen parents.
Right.
There's a few things that you would do if you wanted to break the so-called curse, and the first thing is to change your environment. I know it sounds easier than it, said than done. But if you change your environment, you don't have to. There's poor neighborhoods everywhere. If your money is not right, you don't have to live around poor Blackistan, if you know what I mean. There's another area till you get your money right, just to keep yourself safe.
Yeah, you just have to find it. People don't know about resources, don't use resources. I know personally in Chicago, people don't realize that if a building is federally funded, you can use like a Section 8 voucher. You don't have to go to the projects. If you can't afford it, you do not have to go to the projects. You can go up there, live downtown or as close to downtown as you can get, live up north, live nice in a one apartment or a studio and be fine.
I
But
had
they
no
don't
idea.
realize that. They just it's so many housing programs in Chicago, but it makes no sense. I didn't know because I wasn't looking for it because I'm staying with my mom as long as I can until I marry out and get my own. I'm like, it's so many things. You just had to look them up. Like literally, it's the Section 8, and it's like in subsidized housing. You can live in a luxury or close to luxury apartment. It's some stuff on the golden. It's there. That's all.
There's a Black woman I've heard on here that is in Chicago, and she runs a program that helps Black women specifically to get homes in Chicago, to get them out of Blackistan.
Okay.
Yeah, you made me think about that as you were talking. But see, all those programs is for the women to get the hell away from get away from Blackistan, to get away from all them fucking. That's what that shit is. I'm telling you, women don't even realize a lot of these programs are really created for us to get out.
Yeah, because it's only thing with the voucher I will say is if somebody does go to look for it, you have to wait for a minute. That's why you have to plan this stuff out in advance. Start getting educated about it now and not when you really have to go. You have to. Everything's a lottery system. That's the only downfall because there's a lot of people trying to get it, and there's people trying to use it for the wrong reasons. But you do have a higher chance at getting it, of course, if you don't have kids. And getting a better
There needs to be a network where Black women that are low income can rent a house together, a 5-bedroom. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In a nice neighborhood, and it just sort of be like a temporary stay, sort of, so you can finish your degree or whatever. But it's just you guys in the house, maybe 3,000 square feet for 5 women. That sounds about right. And you can finish your degree, and once you move out, someone else can move in that's coming up on that part of their life. You get what I'm saying?
But no men. There had to be like a rule of no men.
Yes. No, absolutely not.
That would have to be the rule.
If you're going to put your ankles around your ears for some Dusty, don't bring his ass back here.
And let me tell you, it's very serious because, like I said, it's funny because I remember a situation, and it's crazy because I didn't even really put 2 and 2 together. I could only imagine if I lived in my old apartment, what could have possibly happened to me because I was taking an Uber and he dropped me off at my building. And I was like, I was going to the store next to my building. I come back into my building. Guess who's in my building? The Uber driver.
Get the hell out of here.
So I'm walking and it's like my brain just, I don't know what was going on, but we have a front desk 24 hours and we have security. So I hear her telling him, she was like, okay, who are you here to see? Like, what floor are you going on? Because I don't know, she knew something was off herself. So she simply said, that floor doesn't exist. So who are you here to see? And he looks dead at me, and I just bolted to the elevators, and they were like, you have to leave. We don't know who you're looking for. And they just got his ass together and told him to leave. And I was just like, if that was my other building, he would have just walked up right behind me and whatever could have happened.
Oh my gosh.
That's scary as hell.
I don't even like cab drivers.
Child,
I had one of them had a nerve to say, you live here? I
Why
said
you
no.
The nerve.
I said I'm visiting my cousin, and I got out the car. The fuck?
You did the
Yeah.
right thing because they
Yeah.
crazy that shit. It doesn't even have to be, someone that you've exchanged niceties with. They're attacking people they don't even know.
Right.
Right.
Never
And
seen
it's
them
funny
before in
because
their
he was
life.
asking questions like, "What floor do I live in?" And I wasn't even putting two and two together. I just said some bullshit floor. Well, I guess now it makes sense. That's why they had no clue where the hell he was trying to go.
Girl.
You're so smart. I'm
That
so
Good
is
thing
happy
that
very
what you're
person
scary.
was
saying.
there to protect you when you ran. Good. I'm glad you ran.
That's what I'm
Like,
Right.
oh
saying.
hell
That is
no, get
because
out of
of my
here.
building. Yeah,
They were
because
like, hell no.
yeah, it was thankfully I get a building with like a front desk person or something, because you can't, well, either way, if you get in my building, it's going to be really hard to get to the floors because you can't just waltz in here. He tried it, but it would have been an epic fail. That's why I'm saying it's so important to like get yourself out of these communities, because you have girls that are working like late at night, and that's the shit they have to deal with going into their own apartments.
Yep.
And see, I know. I remember one black woman said her neighborhood is not Blackistan, and she said this black woman, I guess it was a mammy, had all these apes and stuff in the pool, and she said it was one, two, three. Next thing you know, it was 5 or 6 of them, a whole family of them in the pool. And she said next thing you know, one of them was walking in the hallway trying to sell some kind of cookies or candy or
Oh,
something.
selling candy, not the
Yeah,
Oh my
selling
god.
candy in the hallway, and she looking like, "Wow, this nigga selling candy. Nobody be selling stuff up here." Casing, trying to look up and trying to look at who's living where. It's
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
sick.
That's
Girl,
the
I'm
only
They would
time I
telling
just
know
knock
I
on your
you.
saw.
door. They would just knock on your door just to see where you live. Like I go through. I've
See,
been through that before. They would knock on your door. Sometimes they just, like they're sick. They're
That's
sick.
that's the only word for them. They're sick. A lot of them have undiagnosed mental illness and so on and so forth. Ladies, get the hell up out of listen, get out of there. I'm
Point.
gonna repeat
Period.
that every chance I get. I don't want to hear about y'all getting hurt. It is what it is. We coming up on 2 hours, y'all. Y'all know I'm gonna be back up here soon.
okay.
I ain't gotta work tomorrow. I ain't even finna lie to y'all. I'm fixing to get a shower and grab me some of this cucumber salad. Hey.
And if you have to get a house, this is for anywhere in Illinois. If you live in Illinois, if you want to get a house and be in there like a townhome and be in there with multiple women, um, I'm not saying to be behind on the mortgage, but just the only way you can get it is the Illinois hardest hit. They'll pay it off, but you have to be behind. It's not the best choice, but if it's a choice, if it's like a choice that you have, or if you're already in it, it's out there. You just gotta look for the money. The money's everywhere. It's money. We in America. It's money literally everywhere. It's people. It's different programs. This is why white people, you be thinking they have money, they be poor as hell, but they living up north.
Yes.
They just
Yes,
know
Yep.
where
that's
to
a great
look.
point.
So
They
yeah,
make
you
poverty
just
look
gotta
a
look.
little different, except for the
Right.
ones that's addicted to drugs, but they make poverty look a little different. Now, you'll see black folks that are in poverty, right? But they all are wearing expensive clothes. I am so baffled by that kind of shit.
That's
Hood
that
bitch.
that's that hood economics.
Mm-hmm.
Buying the shoes, the Gucci belts. Like, did you see how many of these people were at these luxury stores when they got the first stimulus?
Yes.
Oh
Like,
And
god. So embarrassing.
it makes absolutely no sense. But then you want to talk about the system.
Right.
Everything is just so.
Well, can I push out on some tea with that?
Oh
A lot
okay.
of
yes.
them, their mothers get checks for them for a long time, and all the other siblings they still get money for them too. And then if there's a disabled child, that's another check.
Damn. What?
Yeah, yeah, that's the hustle in Pakistan. That's how those women be having. They be having money. Don't be thinking everybody just broke. They get money off the government, plus the food stamp, plus the money for the disabled child. Sometimes they take a child in for a sibling, so that's extra money in their pocket too.
Listen, I've been married
Mhm.
since first. I was only 18 for 6 days when I got married. So a lot of this stuff I don't even know about. Took my ass to
Well, I'm in New
school.
York City, so I've seen this in New York
Okay.
City.
Okay.
Where and then if
So
the mother's a recovering addict, You know the city pay you know how much money these crackheads and drug addicts get in New York City? You should see the houses and apartments they get.
Wait,
You
what?
would gag. The drug addicts, the recovering drug addicts in New York City, you should see the houses and apartments that they get. You would gag.
See? Nope.
You would gag. Okay? You'll be like, what?
I'm
What?
sure. I'm sure. And there's women out here trying to go to school and do their thing and they can't get any assistance. That's crazy.
Nothing.
I
Oh,
don't like the whole when they're talking about the system this and the system that. To me, it's very insulting, especially black men, when they're like, we can't do this, we can't do that. I'm like, but then how come black women are doing it? How come immigrants are doing it? And then their other arguments like, well, my ancestors did this, that, and the
Child.
third, so these people can get ahead. Then how come you ain't getting ahead?
right.
Nobody wants to
Why
hear the
is
real
it?
answer to that.
Why is it
Nobody wants to hear
that
the real answer to that.
African immigrants come over here are more successful than black Americans who work the land? Come on now. Like, I don't
They're
want to
more
hear the
successful than
excuses.
that the black man. Not the black woman is always working. We're
Always.
And
always we're always making our money in our education.
no
It's
matter
him that
what.
he's more successful than.
That's why it
Because
pisses me off. Because I'm
That's
like,
what
why you
pisses me
think
off.
like and then they have the nerve to ask black women what you bring to the table. Nigga, we go to school, we go to work, half of us have our own shit. Like
I ain't bringing
all my
shit to the
friends come
table,
from
nigga. The
Nothing. I'm
hell? I ain't
bringing
bringing a
nothing.
goddamn thing, nigga. Not nan.
Nothing.
like
Like,
I'm
can
Are
you
they
bringing.
guys
saying
even
the song?
afford a
Not
table?
nan.
Like, I don't
like
I'm not
seriously,
bringing
it's the
shit to the
nerve.
table.
If we're
I
gonna
wish
be
I would bring
honest,
something to the table, bitch. I am the table.
The
Can
exactly.
hell?
he even afford a table?
Oh,
That's
Exactly.
the
the
real
question of the
question.
day. Can he afford a fucking table?
Huh, a table.
It's just too much mess. Like everything they got to rebuttal. It's the white man. It's the system. It's this. It's that.
No
It's. I'm
accountability.
22. I'm educated. I have my own place. What is your excuse?
You know what? Don't listen to him.
Right.
That's why I say don't listen to him.
At
I
all.
I slipped and heard a dusty today called that black guy, that black old guy, and he was all yelling to the top of his young lungs. Dan was talking all calm and neutral and with sense, and he just kept screaming to the top of his lungs about black women. And I turned it off, but I was really listening to Dan, and he happened to pop up inside the what I was listening to, but I can't listen to them
Neither can I. At
because
all.
when you have the truth and you have this wisdom, you have to move on and focus on the empowerment of black women. I'm so serious.
Mm,
If I like today, that was
Yeah, it
entertaining
makes no
because that
sense
shit
for
was funny.
us. Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
girl.
no. I'm sorry. It makes no sense for us to be doing better than men in a patriarchy. It's
It
not
don't make no
even
sense.
right. The system's not even made for it to work like this.
They
And I
should
just
be
don't understand how
embarrassed.
people are not seeing an issue in that.
It's a
And
It
huge
makes no sense.
issue.
and
Everything just
that's why
fucking
we should
happens.
have no respect when they come on our panels. You got 5 seconds. What you got to say?
And
Five
all they're
seconds.
gonna say is we gotta do something. No shit.
Oh my, do y'all are you guys in Clubhouse and hearing the black men? It's so embarrassing. They
I've
be
been trying to download that app. I don't know
Mm-mm.
which one is the logo. So it's like so many clubhouses.
I
Which one is
put a
it?
pause on it, but it's like it was draining. Like it was super embarrassing. I'm like they really showed black women how
You
they really felt.
Oh, you know
That's
what? I forget they're all because I was on Bigo. I about to erase that because they're always on apps because they got time to be Hebrew Israelites on there and open Bibles and books and the Nature Boys on the app too and all these other people and they got
Ugh.
time to do all that.
Nothing but
True.
time. Just
listen.
post it.
I had to
Yeah, y'all
unsubscribe
don't owe
from.
them no explanation. Like I said, I'm an extremist when it comes to you don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them time. You don't owe them anything. They shouldn't
Right.
even. When you said what you got to say when you jump up on the panel, y'all, I'm being held hostage. If y'all see any Dusty on my panel, he is holding me hostage. I don't care if this dude has done shit to help black women. He won't be up here because I know he knows men that he's not checking that's hurting black women.
Exactly.
He won't be up here. So if y'all see a dude up on my panel, Call the goddamn cops because I'm being held hostage.
We will, for sure.
That's
and
my
ladies, go if
problem
you
with
live
these
next to a police
guys.
station, bring them some cookies.
You're
Let them
right.
see your face.
What somebody said, send who the one who put the knee on George Floyd neck, send him a gift basket.
I'm not gonna lie,
I'm
during that
serious.
whole
You gotta
thing,
let them know they are appreciated. You need to let them see your face for real. That's really that. And you kind of got to talk in which area you're in. Get to know your local law enforcement. Get buddy with them. Get buddy with a strap Brad because they're the best Brad.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
I'm still looking for old boy so I can give him some of that Voltaren gel to put on his knee because I know his knee was hurt after he had to choke. Let me shut up. Y'all get out of here. I'm gonna get my ass up off of here. I'm glad y'all came. Come next time and talk some more shit with me. You hear me?
Thank you for having
Thank
this
you.
panel.
Yeah,
Like,
this was fun.
seriously, it's good to
Yes,
have
thank you for waking me
like-minded
up,
women.
girl.
No problem, y'all. Y'all click off and have a good night.
You
Good
too. Be
night.
safe.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.